Good afternoon. It is Thursday here on the Missouri 8-Man Football Show. I'm Devin Albertson. Still getting over this cold a little bit. It is going a lot better than it has in the past few days, though, so I can actually talk with minimal coughs in between right now, so that's great. Thank everybody for tuning into the show. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Devin Albertson as well. Let's follow Mo 8-Man Football. They have all the good stuff there for you from Missouri 8-Man Football news and everything going on with that. Making sure this link is up right now. It is. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully I can educate you a little bit here coming in 8-man. What's going to happen in this district championship games? Up this week, only 8 teams left, 4 teams, 4 district championship games. Should be a fun week in Missouri 8-man. Of course, we go to last week's standings. What happened last week here real quick. Taking around the playoffs, of course, down in district. We'll go to District 1 first to go 1 to 4. Worth County beat East Ashton 66-0. No surprises there. Stanberry beat Rockport 76-34. Second straight year Stanberry's knocked Rockport out of the playoffs. Both times in Rockport. I picked Stanberry to win that game. Good job of Stanberry in that rushing attack to pull away in the second half. It was a 4-point game at halftime. They ended up winning handily. So nice job there by Stanberry. Go to District 2, the upset of the weekend. The 4 seed Senior Christian took down the 1 seed Mound City 42-30. Christian was up 20-0 in the first half. Really surprised by that game, but excellent work by Senior Christian. They're one of those teams every year that when you see them in week 1, they're a completely different team by the time they get to the playoffs. They're really well coached down there, Senior Christian. A lot of props to them. Turning that program a little bit. They do play in a tougher conference. That helps them a lot. The experience throughout the year, but they did a great job against Mound City to pull off that win. And they're going to take on North Andrew, who beat South Holt not only Holt 60-12 in that other semifinal game of the district finals, district championship, district play, sorry. North Andrew took care of business there. I called that game North Andrew. Definitely a better team in that one. They're going to take on Cedar Christian coming up next. So that's what we got there. It looks like it's all GRC through Districts 1 and 2. We'll get to that here in a minute. But nice job there by North Andrew and Christian to win their games. District 2, District 3. Go down to the 1 seed. King State took care of the 5 seed Bramer 58-6. Nice win by King State. They advanced the district championship game. They will take on Southwest Livingston, who defeated the 3 seed Pattonsburg 36-30. Great game between Livingston and Pattonsburg there. Old PVC matchup, rebeating in the district semifinals, and Livingston came out on top 36-30. Good game down in Ludlow. Now District 4, game that was played on Saturday, Sacred Heart versus Norbert Hardin Central. Sacred Heart won that game 72-20. Nice job by the Gremlins. As they're going to take on Greenfield, took care of Osceola 42-38. A really good game there. Osceola was up late in that one. Greenfield came back to win it. Osceola, they started out the year really struggling a bit in 8-man, but they really came on strong there late. So nice job by Osceola in their first year in 8-man. As I said, you'll start the year losing to Chillicothe by 6, losing to King City, losing to Sacred Heart, losing to Greenfield, losing to Pleasanton, Kansas, then come back, beat Hughesville, beat Missouri School for Death, barely lose to Hardin Central, so you're 2-5 at that point, beat Pleasant Hope, beat Chillicothe in the playoffs bad, they beat up on Chillicothe, and then they almost beat Greenfield, so a good way to end the year there for Osceola in their first year at 8-man. Congrats to that coaching staff down there, 4-7 their first year after starting out 2-5. Nice job there by the Osceola Indians. So nice job down there as they're going to take on some other matchups. And speaking of the playoff bracket, of course, here's the playoff bracket, the big wide version of it, all 24 teams in there. Sorry. That we have, but here's the remaining bracket, which is a little more important at this point. You only have 8 teams left, as I said. We're going to break it down by district and see what goes on here. Top half of the brackets, all GRC. There's one GRC in the bottom half of the 275 conference team, and then you'll have a CRC team and an independent. So all 4 conferences in 8-man are still represented right now. We'll see if that's the case going forward in the semifinal matchup. It won't be because some teams playing each other. So we'll see what happens there. But first, we'll just go to the upper half of the bracket real quick. My face up here. Sorry. Here, District 1, of course, you have Worth County versus Stanberry, rematch of the Week 9 game that I called for KNIM, where Worth County won that 56-12. They were dominant the whole game. They were up by 50 at halftime. Worth County number one scoring offense, number one scoring defense. Just a really, really good team right now. I think it's Worth County's world. Everybody's kind of living in it. I'm calling this game for KNIM, so I won't give an official prediction here. I think Stanbury can have a better time around this time. Maybe they'll try to slow the game down a little bit, try to grind the clock out a little bit, and try to slow that Worth County rushing attack down a little bit, and try to contain Cameron and McClellan. Easier said than done. It should be an interesting game to see what happens over in Grant City in that one. And then Central Christian, they're going to North Andrew. North Andrew, the 2 seed, Christian, the 4 seed. I'm ready for this game. Should be interesting here. I'm not calling this game. I'm going to be keeping a track on it on what I'm doing my game, how this game ends up over in Rosendale. North Andrew stats are not online, but I can tell you from just a conference, all conference that came out for the GRC. Of course, Powelson of the quarterback, North Andrew, first team all conference. Caleb Patterson, first team all conference end/wide receiver. Those are two guys on first team offense, first team defense. They had Caleb Patterson at defensive end. That's all they had there. Second team offense, they had O-lineman Logan Hughes and all-purpose back Lance Strebe. Had a nice year this year as well. Second team defense, they had Logan Hughes at D-lineman. And then they had a couple guys here and there. Patterson was the first team punter as well. So North Andrew didn't have as many guys reach all conference this year they have in the past. Also, Strebe got honorable mention defense. So they didn't have as many guys in the past. Christian actually I think had more all conference selections. Nobody for the first team on offense, but they did have Braden George, a running back, be second team offense, and Caleb Matlack, a lineman, be second team. I hope I said your name right, young man. But second team all conference O-line, GRC is very impressive. He also was first team D lineman as well. First team D lineman, sorry. First team D lineman. Got that one messed up. Simon Mays was second team D end, as well as Braden George, second team linebacker. So they had a bunch of guys make the team as well. I think Christian, just a really well-rounded team there for the GRC. As for George, he's a 1,000-yard rusher this year. He's actually fourth in the state in rushing yards, according to Mo8mancoaches.com, with 1,476 yards on 155 carries, 28 touchdowns, which is really up there when it comes to touchdowns. It is third in the state, only behind Cameron for Worth County and Sheeper for Stanbury. And technically, he is tied third with Cameron for yards in the air. Having Cameron for Worth County also has 1,476 yards, both in 10 games. So impressive there. Cameron has that in 54 less carries. Leading rusher in the state is from Hardin Central, Norborn, followed by Trey Sheeber. So that's kind of what the top running backs in the league. Also, the fifth rusher is Cole Durbin from Stanbury. So I said earlier, Stanbury, a really good rushing attack. But in this game, Christian North Andrew, I think it's going to be close. It's kind of like their first game earlier this year. Let me look at this matchup to see what that score actually was between the two. I know North Andrew won that game. They won it 56-20, 58-26. I think it'll be a similar game where you see North Andrew put up a bunch of points, but they won't be able to stop Christian as well. I think it'll be closer than last time, actually. I'll go in the summer range 60-46, somewhere in there. Couple score game, but it's in doubt late. So I think North Andrew sticks, gets the win, but Christian sticks with them for a while there. Christian much improved when they played back in week 2. So, and I trust Coach Jewell down in Christian to get them ready for North Andrew and be a rough game with the Cardinals and the Lions down there. But I think Christian ends up losing that game to North Andrew. For the hosting matchups for the semifinals in these two districts, I looked at Michigan last night and kind of saw the rundown of all this and see who would host. If Worth County and North Andrew both win, both the home teams win, Worth County would host. If Stanbury and North Andrew both win, Stanbury host. There's no way North Andrew hosts a semifinal. They'll be on the road no matter what in the semifinals. St. Joe Christian, they would host Worth County, but they would not host Stanbury. Stanbury would host them. So Stanbury, if they win, they're going to host no matter what. North Andrew, if they win, they're going to not host no matter what. And Worth County and Christian kind of depend on which matchup they get if they move on. So again, Worth County hosts North Andrew, Stanbury hosts North Andrew, Christian hosts Worth County, Stanbury hosts Christian. So that's what I have for these two districts. I think North Andrew wins, and they'll be on the road in week 2 to take on either Worth County or Stanbury. I won't give a prediction for Stanbury Worth County because I'm calling the game. I want to stay as neutral as possible with that in that game between Stanbury and Worth County, even though I think general consensus around 8-man is Worth County is the favorite going into that matchup. Um, Now we go to the lower half of the bracket. You have King City and Southwest Livingston. First matchup for these two teams this year. Of course, Southwest Livingston kind of surprised being the only 275 conference team left. Um, in my opinion, I think they're the fifth best team in the 275 because you had Rockport, Mound City, East Ashton, South Holt, Nottoway Holt, and then Livingston, followed by Stewartsville. But Stewartsville, when their quarterback is not playing well, is not a very good team. They probably shouldn't have beat South Holt, Nottoway Holt earlier this year, but I won't get into all that. I think Livingston, probably the middle of the pack team in 275. They make the district championship game in a weaker district over there, but I think King City is the real deal. I think they might actually be better than North Andrew this year. They didn't get to play week one due to unfortunate circumstances there, but I think King City takes care of Livingston there, advances to the semifinals again for the second straight year. Last year they lost to North Andrew. This year another tough matchup with either Sacred Heart or Greenfield. But King City, I think they move on to go to the district championship game. Go to the semifinal game. Sorry, I think they win the district championship game at home over Southwest Livingston. I don't think it's really going to be that close either. I think King City is really good and one of the top tier teams in the GRC. And I think one of the top teams in the GRC faces the middle of the Pac 275 conference team, it's not going to be close. That's kind of what I see there with King City and Southwest Livingston. Livingston plays physical, but I don't think they have the talent and the horses to contend with King City in that matchup. So I'll take the Wildcats of King City to win this one over the Wildcats of Southwest Livingston. So two Wildcats in that one. I'll take King City, though. Go to the bottom half of the bracket here. Sacred Heart versus Greenfield. These two teams met up earlier this year. Sacred Heart won that game. Sorry, that was in week 2. Sacred Heart went to Greenfield and won 73-16. No, 53-16. Sorry, 53-16 was the final in that game. Sacred Heart's been rolling this year. Their closest game was North Andrew. They won at home 88-48. They've been just rolling teams so far this year. So I think Sacred Heart, I know last year these two teams kind of flip-flop scenarios. Greenfield went undefeated regular season, beat Sacred Heart in Sacred Heart 48-32. Played them again the championship game at home, lost 48-38. I think these two teams be more of a second matchup again, but I think Sacred Heart pulls off the win here, advances to state semifinals. I'm going to say 56-30, somewhere in that matchup. I think Sacred Heart's a better team here. I think they're going to come away with the win. I think Greenfield's still solid, though. But Sacred Heart, they're going to beat Greenfield, I think, and move on to the state semifinals. The hosting situations in this one, if King City and Sacred Heart both of one seeds move on, King City would host. If Southwest Livingston and Sacred Heart wins, Southwest Livingston would host. So no matter what, Sacred Heart's going to go on the road for week 2. That's what's going to happen there. Sacred Heart be on the road. And then if you look at if Greenfield wins and King City wins, Greenfield would host King City. So King City would have a long drive down south to take on the Wildcats of Greenfield. So they're kind of the Wildcat team. But if Greenfield and Southwest Livingston win, Southwest Livingston would host Greenfield in that matchup up in Ludlow. So kind of interesting, actually. You see on the side of the bracket, you have 3 Wildcat teams and 1 Gremlin. So it's kind of a weird thing I just kind of noticed here on the fly with this side of the bracket. But my assumption would be King City and Sacred Heart both wins. King City hosts today against Sacred Heart in the semifinal game for a chance to go to the state title game in that one. So that's what I have for you. That's what I kind of see way it goes here. Well, thank everybody for tuning in here. Hope you guys enjoyed my opinion. It's try to be as humble as possible. And as my fiance shakes her head over there, she does not enjoy my opinion, but thanks, hon. Hope you guys enjoyed my views here on 8 Man. Hope you guys, if you want to have any discussion about it, I am open to a discussion. No need to attack personally. Just come at me with an opinion and know my opinion before you come at me. That's my biggest thing is some of this stuff. I don't have anything against any other school in 8 Man. I'm trying to be as objective as possible, as non-biased as possible. Coming and looking at all these teams, kind of look at what they've done on the field versus common opponents with their stats. Kind of say if I saw them in public, in person, it's kind of a little different. I'm looking there like I haven't seen King City play. I haven't seen Southwest Livingston play in person. I haven't seen Sacred Heart or Greenfield. I've seen North Andrew play in person. I've seen Stanberry multiple times. I've seen Worth County multiple times. So I have a little better feel of those teams. I haven't seen Christian play, but I kind of know that program a little pretty well, and see how they've done through the years with that coaching staff there in their last year. They're in Christian, so you kind of see what they run. So there's some teams I know better than others. There's some teams that I'm going to have a little more, like I'm from Nottoway Holt, so yes, I think South Holt Nottoway Holt is probably a little better than what they actually are. That's one thing. I'll admit that. That's one thing I'm going to go with. with all that stuff, but I was still reasonable. They played North Andrew. I didn't make a prediction for that game because I was calling it, but going in, you're like, hey, North Andrew's really talented. They have a really good passing game. That's what the Spartans kind of struggle with there. So North Andrew was the favorite going in there. I'm not Skip Bayless with the Dallas Cowboys saying, hey, Cowboys going to win every time they play. No, I'm not that way. Try to be as reasonable as possible. I called the South Fulton Hill game versus Worth County earlier this year, and I saw all the rosters when I got them. I'm like, oh, Worth County's going to be really good this year, and you could see it on the field. So trying to be as non-biased as possible. And I don't like Stanberry more than Rockport. I don't like Rockport more than Stanberry, Rockport, Mountain City. I'm just trying to call this as even as possible. I picked Stanberry to beat Rockport, and some people are mad at me because I thought I'd take Rockport. I don't know what is some people's thing against me, but that's just kind of what it is. I'm not the voice of 8-Man. I just enjoy watching 8-Man. I think it deserves some coverage. That's why I do this. I think sometimes 8-Man gets slid under the rug when it comes to other high school football here in the state of Missouri, so I want to give it a little more attention. That's why I do this show. It's why I put it up on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and have Mo 8-Man Football share it so everybody can kind of see it, see my opinion. If they want to have an opinion off it, they want to make original content, we'll share that as well. I mean, that's just what it is. It's just something to give 8-Man a little more attention out there and make sure people actually, I know people care about it. Small communities here with 8-Man, they care about this sport. They care about the kids in the sport. I try not to put anybody down. I try not to make fun of any teams one way or the other. Just try to get my opinion on what's going to happen on the field. And good luck to all the teams going out this Friday. Of course, Worth County Stanberry, this game I'll be going to for KNIM. Should be a fun one over there in Grant City. So if you see me, say hi. I'll probably talk to you a little bit if I'm not calling the game at the time. So I'm very open in public. I'll talk to anybody. Then, of course, keep an eye on North Andrew hosting St. Joe Christian, as well as Livingston going to King City and Greenfield going to Sacred Heart. We'll know our Final Four by Saturday. So by late Friday night, early Saturday, we'll know who's all going to the state championship game semifinals and who's hosting. So hope everybody enjoys. Of course, tomorrow KNIM. For me, 95.9 out of Maryville if you want to listen to the game. If you're Worth County Stanberry, don't want to get out there. It's supposed to be mid-50s, I think. High for Friday, lows down to 44, so somewhere in that range. Better than last week, and last week was cold. That's why I got this little thing in my throat right now. But hope everybody enjoys this. Good luck to all 8 teams on Friday night. I'll be keeping an eye on it. And everybody, have a good night. You're listening to the My Missouri 8-Man Football Show here on Facebook Live and YouTube.